how is the church viewing this moment?
Yeah.
And what has their response really been?
Yeah, so the church, you'll have to divide into different segments, right? So you have the mainline churches, the Catholic churches, and I'm talking about Christian churches. But the groups that I'm more concerned about are the evangelical churches. And within the evangelical churches, you'll find, especially among the young people, a desire to engage more issues around justice. They care about the environment. You know, my 19-year-old daughter, one of the key things she wants to do is to care for the environment, because creation care and environmental change is something that's really on her heart. As a young Christian woman, this is something that she's pursuing. And so you're seeing that among young people who are seeing this kind of injustice and brokenness in the world and want to address that. But then there's a segment of the church that I think is saying that's not the issues that we want to deal with. We're not really concerned about immigration rights. We're not really concerned about climate change. We're not really concerned about the plight of the poor. We want to get power in other ways. We want to get power through electoral systems. We want to get power through the Supreme Court justice appointments. And there might be some legitimate concerns like pro-life and care for religious freedoms. But what's happened is that the church has really divided as to where their voices are coming from. And so what I think this division of the church has meant that especially young people and those who are saying we want to care for the poor and the marginalized first, they're the ones that are on the front line, and the churches that they're involved with on the front line, out there with the protest and with the peaceful protests that are out there. But then the churches that have said, we're going to take a different approach. I would say most of those churches are captive to Western theology, Western philosophy, Western ideals and norms. And they're saying, well, we don't want to have anything to do with that because we want to change individuals. We want to take care of the individuals, and we don't care about systemic racism. We don't care about systemic injustice or systemic poverty. And so there is a sad bifurcation or a separation between a group that is out there who are, understanding what people are crying out for, and others who are going to bury their head in the sand and say, this has nothing to do with us.
I don't know if you agree with this assessment, but I feel like many churches in America essentially have been caught with their pants down.
Yeah.
Now that everyone is out there chanting BLM,
right.
It's the convenient thing to do. We're seeing corporate America now jumping on this after being silent or on the sidelines.
Yeah.
What do you make of the church now trying to get in on this conversation?
Yeah. Well, the problem is that if you change your mind with the wrong value system, you really haven't changed your mind, right? So
explain.
If you're changing your mind about BLM because your value system is care for the poor, your value system is God's justice, your value system is I care about what happens in my neighborhood, I care about my neighbor, that is a changing of the mind based upon a change of heart, a change of spirit, change of soul. But if you're changing your mind based upon a dysfunctional value system, so if your value system is consumerism, one of the topics that I outline in my book, consumerism, as in I want to appeal so that more people will come and buy my Christian products. If that's your mentality and that's your value system, then it's actually an ineffectual change, because you're still keeping to the value system that created the problems in the first place. But now you're saying, oh, I care about BLM. You care about it because you want people to come to your church, or you want to sell your books, or you want to make sure that people are concerned, that you are seen as a popular person or a person of the masses, whatever motivation you have. But that motivation is not actually, my friend died as a result of police brutality. My friend died in prison because of COVID-19. That's a very different motivation than, boy, I really want to get people back into my church now. I really want to be relevant to the people in the church. That value system is actually part of the problem rather than solving the problem.